Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the Hidden Quantum Champion series. In today's video we are looking again at the topic of quantum key distribution. We have another company. This time the claim is to be the cheapest, or probably one of the cheapest, but as far as I understand, the cheapest company in terms of total cost of ownership in the space of quantum key distribution. And if you want to learn more about how that actually works, which company I'm talking about, probably you have seen it in the title, and many more things about HEQA, then stay tuned for today's video as we are diving deeper into HEQA security. And with that, as per usual, let's start right away on their website. So here we are, HEQA security, of course with a Q. So quantum leap for secure communication, securing data in motion with production grade QKD, quantum key distribution, and a seamless PQC overlay, delivering security in depth for the quantum era. And that's post-quantum cryptography. So, quantum safe security engineered for efficiency and scale. HEQA delivers production-grade quantum safe appliances integrating quantum key distribution with a NIST-aligned post-quantum cryptography overlay, providing layered security in depth for real-world networks. 99.999% key availability, so engineered for continuous high availability key delivery across mission-critical data links, supporting uninterrupted secure communication. 50% less or lower total cost of ownership, setting a competitive pricing norm within the industry without compromising on reliability, and a 1U integrated design. 1U is this one unit. It's a typical server measure in the telecommunication sector, combining QKD, KMS, and NIST-aligned PQC in a compact appliance, delivering security in depth without increasing infrastructure complexity. So far, so good. I think that's something that if you have watched the videos before, and if you have not, make sure to go check out the Hidden Quantum Champions playlist on the YouTube channel. It is something that we know about, right? So we know roughly what quantum key distribution is. It is this idea of using quantum mechanics properties to make sure that nobody can eavesdrop in between, that nobody can listen into your conversation. Then there is the post-quantum cryptography, so the idea of harvest now, decrypt later. So you can today already listen to somebody's conversation and they cannot know that you're listening to them because there's no quantum key distribution, there's no quantum assured two-channel communication without eavesdropping in between. So you could have a big agency, for example, a national agency, listening into other countries' data transfers, which are encrypted. So today they cannot really do anything with that data. But the idea of harvest now, decrypt later is they collect this data, they store it somewhere, they wait for the quantum computer to finally be ready, and then they use the quantum computer, which can actually break today's encryption, to basically extract the data. So that's roughly the ideas behind it. If you want to learn a bit more about the details of how it works, definitely go check out the other videos. It's explained in there. Now here what we see is they are very much looking to the production arguments, right? So they say 1U, which means you don't have to worry. It fits into your standard architecture. It's not like a lab setup that you're putting in there. Total cost of ownership. So what actually drives the costs for the telco provider? What the telco provider is looking for? Well, they want to know the performance and they want to know the total cost of ownership. So not only what it costs to buy this thing, but also what it costs to operate it permanently. That's the total cost of ownership usually. And then there is, of course, the question of availability or reliability, right? If you're looking, for example, into server centers today, if you're buying a server from Amazon by AWS, or you're actually not buying, you're renting some space on a virtual server in an AWS supercompute center, or maybe at Azure or Azure from Microsoft or Google, then you are, or maybe also some European provider, like for example Hetzner, then you are basically renting a machine that is sitting somewhere in a server center, and usually the server providers are making sure that there's a guaranteed uptime for specific products. So what does that mean? It means that they make sure that this thing is not going down. There's no like power interruption happening. Even in some cases, they have like mirrored data storages and stuff like that, where like, let's say the hard disk drive in your server is breaking, then it automatically copies a secure copy from somewhere else, and the system stays up so that you're like not going down, for example, with your website. Or let's say you're a bank and you have your whole banking data running on some server, you definitely want to make sure that it's up all the time. Just imagine what would happen if one of your customers is trying to do a money transaction, and suddenly the server's going off. This can be millions and millions of damage, so you have to guarantee an uptime. And in this case, it's a 3-digit behind the comma uptime of 99.999%. Depending on the application that you're looking at, this is fine. In other cases, probably you even want to have an even higher number, but I guess you're also reaching the limit of what is possible with today's technology. Then you see a couple of names listed down here. Maybe that's partners, maybe it's customers, I don't know. Some of them, they are well known and already been discussed previously in this series, like for example IDQ, the QBN I think has been mentioned before, and probably also some others in here. NVIDIA I think was also already listed once. Here's the portfolio, and there's also, I guess, no big surprise here. So the Spectre Quantum Safe portfolio, the Spectre Hub, and the Spectre Spoke. So the hub is point to multi-point quantum safe key distribution designed for hub and spoke, and metro architectures reinforced with PQC overlay for true security in depth. And the spoke is the quantum safe key distribution node for remote and edge sites, reinforced with PQC overlay for true security in depth. So we have on the one side, right, the key point to multi-point, and here we have basically the node, the distribution node. Then there's the Duo down here, so the industry's first and only solution to combine a QKD transmitter, receiver, PQC overlay, and key management system in the same 1U enclosure. So you're basically having a transmitter, a receiver, so a source, and a detector, right? And there's PQC overlay on the software side, as well as key management, and it all fits into a standard rack. And the Spectre Link, so complete quantum key distribution system, transmitter, receiver, PQC overlay, and an integrated key management system, KMS. What is now the difference between those two? I'm not completely sure about that. Maybe the fact that you have two units and this is only one unit. Okay, what else do we have here? So trusted around the globe, where HEQA secures data. Here we see a couple of, projects that they have secured, or companies, places they're working with. You see a lot of activity here in Europe, but there's also Israel, United States, Brazil, Singapore, and South Korea. And some spotlight here, I guess, with news articles or press releases that they have scheduled, and of course some way to get in touch with them and download the brochure that they are offering on their products. Again, as per usual, you have access to the different products here. So I think we've seen them already in the brief before. There's also a way to get more details here. So let's take a look, for example, at the Duo. You've seen this part already. So experience quantum safe communication with unmatched operational simplicity. Spectre Duo is a first of its kind solution designed to elevate your security and scalability, all while ensuring unparalleled operational ease. Engineered to operate over your existing optical fiber infrastructure effortlessly, it delivers symmetric encryption keys for quantum safe communication networks across connected devices, all within one compact unit. So that's probably the sales point here, right? It goes all into one unit and it connects to your standard fiber network. I also like the fact that on the device here you see this little like symbols with the key and the network. That's, I guess, also kind of a nice detail. Some LED here that says probably that the QKD is running. Why choose Spectre Duo? So enhanced security in QKD networks. and I think we've talked about that before. Maybe not, let's see. With integrated connections, Spectre Duo eliminates vulnerabilities for daisy-chained RxTX components. So that's the receivers and the transmitters, ensuring superior security. It is perfect for trusted nodes and for this protection in multi-link QKD networks. So daisy-chained as in you have two different units, I guess, that are, let's say, sitting in the same rack, but they are still separate units, and you can easily, let's say, interfere in between those and put something in between, right? So you still have to trust and nobody goes in and plugs something in between. Optimized rack space, that's the 1U enclosure, and then efficient scalability with QKD node management, which also happens, I guess, on the software side. As far as I understand, what they are doing is they are using as many as possible standard components, because standard components are known to work well. That's also why, for example, they want to operate on the existing fiber network, right? You don't have to reinvent the fiber. First of all, you don't have to create new infrastructure, but then also you know that, for example, the lasers that are being used in the space, or the materials, for example, for those fibers, they're very well characterized, they're very well known, they can be produced at high quality in large quantities. I guess on the laser side, I mean, they still need to do some engineering themselves, because for this QKD you need these single photon sources, the single photon emitter, so you can probably not just use a standard laser for telecommunication. But that said, so using all of these kind of standardized things makes it easier. It's not just lab stuff anymore. And as far as I understand also, and this might not come across here too much yet, but as far as I understand, there's also a huge software portion in there, right? Because they're also doing the key management, and that's all, let's say, on the software side. So a lot of things that can be solved either by buying more expensive lab-grade hardware, or maybe by some software mitigation schemes, software optimization schemes. I think, as far as I understand, they try to resolve by software. Like, for example, this automatic recovery, right? There's an algorithm recovers automatically from various states, ensuring uninterrupted functionality even during fiber replacement. Optical fiber compatibility, we've talked about that before. Effortless operation. Clock synchronization channel operates with a single pluggable SFP+. Remote monitoring and control, and then interoperability testing. Integrated and tested with ETSI GS QKD 014 API compatible devices and Cisco SCIP, ensuring seamless interoperability. And then again here you can request the specs of that product. I don't want to go into many more of those details. I think today is going to be a bit of a shorter video, because I feel like you know already a little bit about, let's say, how the QKD setup works, and I don't want to explain to you the same thing again, because I also see that a lot of people are watching more than just a single video. But if you've watched another video before, you know what comes next. Well, first of all, let's look quickly at the blog. I think because we want to see how let's say up to date this whole thing is. Let's see if there's a date somewhere on here. I don't think so. Very clever. But yeah, I mean, looking at the blog, I think these are all very, let's say, into the topic articles. So this is not just like a little press release or some high level discussion or anything. I think this is really like into the details. But yeah, coming back. So as you know, at the end of every company review, we're also always looking at the company itself. So about HEQA, founded in 2018, HEQA Security brings a quantum leap for secure communication. Led by world-renowned executives from the data protection, quantum communication, and academic domains, they've developed cutting-edge QKD solution. These amplifies high Ethernet security, enterprise-grade performance, and affordability, directly tackling evolving challenges in data security with our interconnected world. And here we see, let's say, the board, the leaders or the management behind the company. And from that, we can already see there's like various different positions, right? We see CEO, CSO, CTO, COO, so Chief Operational Officer as well. So not only, let's say, technical people. Then if I look at the let's say affiliations, I also see here professor at Hebrew University. So I would guess that the company is based somewhere around Israel, but let's see if there's some information also available on that. We also see VP of Business Development, VP Strategy, Advisory Board. Here's a lot of partners and clients listed down here. And let's quickly check out the contact page to see if my guess was right. So yes, we see here, so the company is based out of Israel. And of course, there's also a way to connect to them, either here or on social media. With that, we are already at the end of today's video. That was a bit of a short one. I hope you liked it. Also, let me know down in the comments if you prefer the longer ones or maybe more the shorter ones. I, of course, see a bit in the data that people are, even for the long ones, are watching all the way until the end, like you did now for this video. So I'm very happy to see that. Thanks for all the patience that you have with me to watch always until the end of the videos. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I see a lot of people watch these videos more or less regularly, but they aren't even subscribed to the channel. So make sure to leave a subscription. That also helps me and the team to keep this show here up and running. And with that, I'm very thankful to have you watching the video until the very end. And I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.